my name is Caitlin. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll do a 45-minute classical Pilates mat workout. It's a workout that's adaptable for beginners and intermediate Pilates. If you get to a point in the workout where you're feeling challenged or as if the exercise is particularly hard, the woman who certified me would say once the exercise is over that it's only a memory. So try to stick with it. But of course, if you need to modify or rest your neck or head at any time, go ahead and do that. Let's get started. You can sit on your mat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. From here, we're going to articulate down one vertebra at a time until your back is flat on the mat. Your neck is flat on the mat and your head is flat on the mat. From here, you're going to inhale your left leg to tabletop, exhale your right leg to tabletop. Lengthen your arms long past your hips and begin pumping your arms, coordinating and pumping with the breathing. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in an upper ab curl. If you need to rest your head at any time, go ahead and do that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can extend your legs straight up towards the ceiling. Your feet are in a Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you sinking your navel in deeper on the exhales? Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through your mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can extend your legs down to a high diagonal as long as your low back is flat on the mat, keeping you nice and safe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one more set. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scoop your abs in, curl up an inch higher, and lower your neck and head down onto the mat, resting. Now you can bring your left foot down to the mat, bring your right foot down to the mat, extend your left leg long, and you're going to flex your left foot from the ankle joint. Your right leg will extend straight up towards the ceiling or the sky, and you're going to laterally rotate your right leg so that it's in half of a Pilates V. From here, you'll inhale, you're leading with your right heel across the left side of your body, down to your left ankle, out to your right shoulder, and circle it back up to 90 degrees, completing your circle. Across to the left side of the body, down to the left ankle, out to the right shoulder, and then lift your leg back up to 90 to finish your circle. We'll do 3 more, 2 more in this direction. Last one. Now we're going to switch directions. So you'll bring your right ankle and heel out to your right shoulder, down to the ground, across to your left ankle, and back up to 90. When you do this, you want to think about keeping your pelvis still. So if you need to make the circle smaller, you can just bring your heel down halfway rather than all the way down to the mat when you make your circle. We'll do one more. And now we'll switch legs. So you'll bring your right foot down to the mat, extend your right leg long, flex your right ankle, bend your left knee into your chest, extend your left leg straight up to the ceiling, laterally rotate your ankle or your left leg. From here, you're going to lead with your left heel, bring your left heel across to the right side of your body, down to your right ankle, out to your left shoulder, and then back up to 90. This is 2. We're going to do 3 more, 2 more. Last one in this direction. When your legs gets back straight up towards the sky or the ceiling, you'll switch directions. So you'll bring the left heel out to the left shoulder, down to the ground, across to the right ankle, and bring it back up to 90. Out left shoulder, down to the ground, across to the right ankle, and back up to 90. Let's do 3 more, 2 more. Keeping your ribs knit in and your powerhouse strong. Last one. Great job. Bend your left knee, place your left foot on the mat, and extend your leg long. From here, you can Bend your left knee into tabletop. On the inhale, exhale, bring your right knee into tabletop. And we're going to do toe taps. So we'll start out with your hands resting on the mat next to your hip. You're going to hinge from the right hip, tapping your right toes on the mat. Exhale, bring your right leg back to table tap. Hinge from the left hip, tap your left toes on the mat, or you can hug them an inch above the mat, whatever you choose. Exhale, bring the left leg back to tabletop. We'll do 2 more sets. Inhale, tap the right toes. Exhale, back up to tabletop. Inhale, tap the left toes. Exhale, the left leg back to tabletop. Last set with this variation of toe tap. Tapping the left toes. The last rep, bring it back to tabletop. Now you can lift your arms to chest height. And we'll do 3 sets the same way of toe taps. So inhale, tap your right toes. Back to tabletop. Inhale, tap your left toes. Back to tabletop. You want to make sure you're keeping a 90-degree angle between your hip, knee, and ankle when you hinge. So there's the tendency for your heel to move in towards your seat. Try to maintain that 90-degree angle. Last set this way. Tap your right toes. Bring the leg back to tabletop. Tap your left toes. Bring the leg back to tabletop. Now you can extend your arms straight back overhead. Your arms are just barely hovering off the mat. You want to keep your ribs knit in while you do this. We'll do 3 more sets. Inhale, hinge from the right hip. Tap your right toes. Return to the start position. Hinge from the hip on the left this time. And then bring your left leg back up to tabletop. We'll do 2 more sets. Last set, tap the right toes. Return to tabletop. Tap the left toes. Return to tabletop. Bring your arms back to chest height, and then you can rest them on the mat. For the next exercise, we'll do, your legs will stay in tabletop, and we'll do wide knees. So you can either interlace your hands behind your head, come to an upper ab curl, or you can keep your head resting on the mat. I'm going to come to an upper ab curl, and from here, you can open your knees wide. Exhale, close your knees. Open them wide. Exhale, close. You want to make sure your tailbone is heavy into the mat while you do this. We'll do 5 more. Good job. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Rest your head on the mat. From here, you can drop your right foot down to the mat. And then on the exhale, bring your left foot back down to the mat. Lower and lift. Do single leg lower and lift. So you can extend both legs long on the mat. But you'll bend your right knee into your chest and extend your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. You can flex your left ankle to anchor the left side of your body. From here, you're going to inhale, lengthen your right leg long as you lower it towards the mat, hovering an inch off the mat. Scoop your abs in and bring the right leg straight back up to the start position as if you're trying to touch the sky or ceiling with your toes. Inhale, lower your right leg, scoop your abs in and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. We'll do 4 more. Thinking about lengthening the leg long as you lower. And last 2. Last 1. Now you can bend the right knee, put the right foot on the mat and extend it long, and we'll switch legs. Bend the left knee, extend it straight up towards the sky or the ceiling. Your left toes are pointed, and your right ankle is flexed to anchor your right side down onto the mat. Inhale, lengthen the left leg long. Exhale, bring the left leg back up to the start position. Inhale, lower. Scoop the abs in as you lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. When you bring your legs straight back up to the ceiling, is your tailbone still anchored into the mat? The exercise will feel a little bit more challenging if you remind yourself of this. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Great job. You're getting some benefits no matter how flexible you are. That modification or that cue takes a little bit more flexibility. Let's do one more. Exhale, lift. Bend your left knee. Place your left foot on the mat and rest. From here, you can turn over onto your stomach and we'll do swan and a swan variation. So you're lying on your stomach, your legs are glued together, your feet are in a Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. Little ant on me. Place your hands under your shoulder and your neck is in neutral, your nose is just gently touching the mat. Inhale, lift your torso off the mat, your head and shoulders, keeping an attenuated neck. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do one more this way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now you can separate your legs hip distance apart, so they're still in that Pilates V, but now your heels aren't glued together. They're about hip distance apart. From here, we'll again inhale, lift the head and torso off the mat. Exhale, lower the head and torso back down to the mat and lift your left leg behind you, keeping it as straight as possible. Now you'll lower your left leg as you lift your torso. Then you'll lower your torso back down and lift your right leg this time, reaching long out of your right big toe. Inhale, lift your head and chest with abdominal support. Exhale, lower down, lift your left leg. Inhale, lift your head and chest again to swan. Exhale, lower your head and chest carefully down to the mat and then lift your right leg. Let's do one more set, lifting your head and chest. You'll feel this in your arms because you're supporting your torso as you press into the mat. Exhale, lower down, simultaneously lifting your left leg. Inhale, lift your head and chest one last time. Great job. Lower your head and chest and lift your right leg. Now you can lower your right leg down to the mat and rest. Push back into a child's pose. Carefully articulate up so that you're sitting with your hips on your heels. From here, we'll lie on our backs again for some more abdominals and coordination. So I'm sitting on my mat, my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the floor, and then I'm going to articulate down one vertebra at a time until I'm lying on the mat again with my neck and head resting on the mat too. We're going to start with corkscrew, so you can inhale your left leg to tabletop, exhale your right leg to tabletop, and extend both legs straight up towards the sky or the ceiling. Your feet are in a Pilates V. For a modification, you can do TikTok, so you'd bring your arms out to a T, and from here you'll bring your legs over to the right as long as your left shoulder stays flat on the mat. Inhale to center, and then over to the left as long as your right shoulder stays flat on the mat. Exhale to center. Inhale both legs over to the right, keeping that left shoulder in contact with the mat. Good job. Inhale to center. Exhale your legs, both legs over to the left, and exhale to center. For traditional, the full corkscrew exercise, you'll bring your hands down by your hips. They're resting long, your arms are long on the mat, and you're going to inhale your legs over to the right as long as your left shoulder stays on the mat, out and around in front of you and over to the left. Pike your legs behind you, tapping your toes above your left shoulder and left ear. From here, you'll articulate down the same side of the spine you just rolled back on and switch directions. So your legs will come out and around in front of you and over to the right. Pike your legs over, parallel to the floor behind you, tap your toes above your right shoulder or ear, and then roll down the same side of the spine you just rolled back on. So continuous tick-tock or corkscrew. Your legs come out and around in front of you. If you're doing corkscrew, tap your toes above your left ear. Squeeze your inner thighs together as you roll back down the same side of the spine you just rolled back on. Your legs come out and around in front of you. We'll do 2 more. Tap your toes above your right ear. As you exhale, your legs parallel to the floor. Last one, circle your legs out and around in front of you. Pike your legs over, balancing on your shoulder girdle. 1 more time. Tap the toes above your left ear. Square your hips off to the mat. And then articulate down the center of your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. I hope that felt nice. Now we're going to do jackknife. So you can keep your legs at a high diagonal, feet in a Pilates V. For a modification of jackknife, if you are just starting to practice Pilates, you can keep your legs glued together, heels together, toes apart, and just gently lift your hips off the mat, and then articulate your low spine down onto the mat to the start position. You'll keep your ribs knit in while you do this, and use your lower abs as you gently lift your hips off the mat and reach your toes towards the ceiling. For full jackknife, you'll start with your legs in a high diagonal, feet in a Pilates V. Extend your legs over behind you, balancing on your shoulder girdles. Inhale your legs straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale them down an inch, and then articulate down 1 vertebra at a time to the start position. You're going to inhale your legs over behind you, balancing on your shoulder girdles. Exhale your legs, hiking them straight up towards the ceiling. Inhale them down an inch, keeping the same distance between your thighs and chest. You'll articulate down, melting your spine onto the mat. Slowly and with control. Let's do a few more. Inhale your legs over. Exhale them up towards the ceiling. Inhale them down an inch. And articulate down, painting your toes across the sky or the ceiling away from you. Last one. Inhale the legs over, balancing on your shoulder girdle. Exhale the legs up. Inhale them down an inch. And then articulate down 1 vertebra at a time, keeping the powerhouse engaged and the inner thighs glued together. Bend your knees into tabletop. Place your left foot on the mat. Place your right foot on the mat. And from here, you can extend your legs long. I have to shimmy back a little bit so I stay on my mat. And we'll do a few roll-ups. So your legs are glued together, feet in a Pilates V. Reach your arms long overhead. From here, you'll inhale your arms straight up to the sky. Bring your hands over top of your thighs. Scoop your abs in and roll up and over. Inhale to stay. Exhale, roll down. Slowly and with control. Your heels will stay glued together and your shoulders are relaxed. I hope that felt nice. Inhale your hands straight up towards the ceiling. Bring them over top of your thighs. Your abs in, roll up and over. Inhale to stay. Exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Last one. Inhale your hands up to the ceiling. Scoop your abs in as you C-curve your spine, rolling up and over. Inhale to stay. And now you can carefully articulate up to a seated position. We'll do some spine massages from here. Spinal massages. You can bring your hands down next to your hips. Scoot your hips towards the front edge of your mat so that you're seated at the front edge of your mat. Your knees are bent, your feet or flat on the floor. Place your left hand right above your left ankle and your right hand right above your right ankle. You can roll back on bouncing on your sits bones and your feet are hovering off the mat. From here, you'll inhale, roll back to your shoulder girdles. Exhale, roll up to the stroke position. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up, bouncing on your sits bones. This is called rolling like a ball. Inhale, roll up. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. I'm looking at my thighs while I do this. You can also, for a more challenging exercise, you can connect your forehead to your knees. And it works your core a little bit more. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. You want to keep your shoulders out of your ears. Exhale, roll up. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. Now when you're bouncing on your sits bones, we'll transition to open leg rocker. So you can extend your left leg out to a high diagonal, 45 degrees. Right leg comes out to a high diagonal, 45 degrees. My heels are about hip distance apart, and I'm holding on to my legs just above my ankles. You can inhale, roll back, tucking your chin to your chest as you roll back. Tap your toes on the floor behind you. Exhale, roll up to the start position. A modification would be to bend your knees and hold on behind your thighs. So you'll inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. I'm going to extend my legs long again and continue with traditional open leg rock. Inhale, roll back. Tap your toes. Exhale, roll up. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. Bend your knees, put your left foot on the mat, put your right foot on the mat, and rest. Now we'll do some side kicks kneeling. So you can come to a high kneel on your mat. Bend your elbows and place both fingertips behind your head. Lower your left hand and palm down to the mat and raise your right leg to hip height at the same time. You're going to flex your right ankle, kick forward. Inhale, inhale, point your right toes, kick behind you. Exhale. Flex the right foot, kick forward. Point the right toes, kick back on the exhale. We'll do 6 more. Kick back. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. I had to remind myself not to let my right shoulder round forward. Last one. Keep your shoulders square to what would be the wall in front of you. Now you'll bring your right leg straight out to hip height again. And from here, you're going to lower down, tap your right toes on the mat. Exhale, lift your right toes back up to hip height. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. We'll do 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Now when your right leg's back at hip height, you're just going to pulse the right leg up an inch 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now bend your right knee in to meet your left knee and come back up to kneeling, to a high kneel. And it's just a memory. Now we'll switch sides. So your hands are interlaced behind your head. And you'll drop your right palm down to the mat as you simultaneously lift your left leg to hip height. Flex the right ankle, kick forward, inhale, inhale, flex the left ankle, kick forward, inhale, inhale, point the left toes, kick behind you on the exhale. Flex the left foot, kick forward, inhale, inhale. Point the left toes, kick behind you on the exhale. We'll do 6 more sets. Is your left ankle still at hip height? 4 more sets. Great job. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Kicking behind you one more time. Bring the left ankle back to hip height. From here, you're going to inhale, lower your left toes, tap them on the mat. Exhale, lift them back up to hip height. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You have 6 more. 5 more. Keep your ribs knit in. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. When your left ankle is at hip height, or your left leg is at hip height again, you're going to pulse up 10 times. Pulse up an inch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your left knee. Bring it back to meet your right knee. So you come back to a high kneel on both knees. And it's a memory again. You can bring your seat down to your heels. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale. Now we'll do some planking and push-ups. So stand on your mat, come to the back edge of your mat. Your heels are together, your toes are apart, your legs, inner thighs are glued together too. Look into the horizon and picture that nice meadow or the ocean. And then you're going to tuck your chin to your chest and articulate down, one vertebra at a time. From here you'll pace out 4 paces with your hands until you're in a high plank position. We'll start with leg pull front. Inhale your right leg, hovering it off the mat behind you at hip distance. Hinge from the left ankle. Bring the weight back into your hands. Hinge back from the left ankle. Bring your weight back into your hands so your shoulders are over your wrist. Hinge back. Move the weight forward. Hinge back. Move the weight forward. We'll do 1 more. Hinge back. Move the weight forward. Now drop your right toes back down to the mat and lift your left foot off the mat. From here, you'll hinge from the right ankle. Bring the weight back into your hand. Hinge. Bring the weight back into your hands. We'll do 3 more. Hinging the right ankle. 2 more. Are you pressing through your shoulders away from the mat? Last one. Keep your core strong. Now you can lower your toes back down onto the mat. Bend your knees, place them on the mat, and press back into a child's pose. Gently come up to seated with your heels on your seat on your heels. We'll do another leg series. So you can lie on your right side with your back lined up with the back edge of your mat. From here, pike both feet forward to the front edge of the mat so your body's in a check mark. I'm using my right hand to prop up my head, and then my left palm is resting on the mat in front of my hip bones. You want to keep your hips stacked the entire time, so your left hip should be directly over your right hip while we do these exercises. Inhale your top leg to hip height. Your left leg, laterally rotate your left leg, kick that leg straight up towards the ceiling, lengthen it long as you lower it back down onto the mat. Inhale, kick that leg up. Exhale, resist it back down as you lower to meet the bottom leg. We'll do 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more as you kick your leg up. Are your hips staying stacked? Last one. Good job. Now we'll do grand rond de jambe. So you can lift your left leg to hip height. Inhale, kick the left leg forward, up, around, as far behind you as you just kick forward, and then join your ankles together to complete the circle. We'll do 4 more. So you're going to kick your left leg forward, up, around, behind you as far as you just kicked forward, and then join your ankles together on the mat again. 3 more. Last 2. As your leg kicks behind you, you'll feel your hips want to unstack. Try to resist that. Last one. Up, around, behind you, and then join your feet back together. Now we'll switch directions. So your leg will come behind you, up in front of you, and then join your feet back together. Behind you, up, around, in front of you, and join your heels back together to complete the circle in the opposite direction. This is 3. Now we have 2 more. Last one. Great job. We'll do 2 more exercises in this leg series. You can lift your top leg, your left leg, to hip height, and we'll do small circles. So you're just going to circle your left ankle forward, gently grazing your right ankle as you at the bottom of your circle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch directions, reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can bend your left knee, put the sole of your left foot on the mat in front of your right thigh. With your bent knee, you created a hole. You're going to feed your left hand through that hole and hold on to the outside of your left ankle with your left hand. From here, you'll lift the bottom leg, your right leg, a few inches. You might lift it an inch. You might lift it 3 or 4 inches. Exhale, lower that bottom leg back down to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. Good job. Last 1. Now you'll inhale, lift the bottom leg in 3 increments. So you'll go inhale, lift the bottom leg, lift, lift. Exhale, lower it back down to the mat. The right leg is long, and you're going to inhale, lift it off the mat again a little higher, and then continue lifting it to the highest point. Exhale, lower it back down onto the mat. We'll do 2 more this way. Inhale, lift the right leg once, a little bit higher than the highest. Lower back down. Last rep this way. Inhale, lift a little bit higher on the second pulse. Then get it to its highest point and lower it back down onto the mat. Now you're going to inhale, lift the right leg 1 more time to its highest point and pulse up 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're at the highest point, we'll hold it for 8 seconds. 8, 7, just a static hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly and with control, lower the right leg back down onto the mat. And you can bend both knees into your chest to rest your legs. Hug your both knees with your left arm. Take a deep breath in and out. Gently come up to seated, and we'll do the opposite side. So you'll lay on your left side with your back lined up with the back edge of your mat. You can prop your head up with your left hand and then pike both feet forward to the front edge of your mat. My right palm is resting on the mat in front of my hips, and my hips are stacked one on top of my other. My right hip is stacked on top of my left hip. From here, lift your right leg to hip height. Laterally rotate your right leg Inhale, kick the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Resist it as you lower it back down to the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg straight up, kick it straight up. Exhale, lengthen it long and resist it back down to the mat. We'll do 6 more. 5 more. Inhale as you kick up. Exhale as you lower it back down to the mat. 3 more. 2 more. Great job. Last one. Now we'll do Grand Rond de Jambe. Make sure you're breathing while we do these exercises. The one who certified me in Pilates would also joke during class, make sure you're breathing today. We'll work on not breathing next week. We never got to the point where we're working on not breathing next week. It's a joke, so always breathe during these exercises. For Grand Rond de Jambe, you're going to lift your top leg to hip height. Inhale, kick it forward, up, around, and behind you as far as you just kick forward, and then join your ankles together at the bottom of the circle. Kick forward, up, around, behind you, and then bring both ankles together at the bottom of the mat. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, up, around. Exhale when you lower your leg back down and complete the circle. Inhale, up, around. Exhale as you lower your leg back down. Last one. Around, behind you. And after you complete the circle, we'll switch the direction. So you're going to kick your top leg behind you, up in front of you as far as you just kicked behind you, and then join your ankles together. That's the first one. We'll do 4 more. Are your hips still stacked? 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Now you can lift your top leg to hip height, and we'll do small circles. So your top leg's still laterally rotated in half of a Pilates V. You're going to circle that leg forward in small circles, just grazing your ankles. 8, 7, at the bottom of the circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So reverse the circle now. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can bend your right knee, place your right sole of your foot on the mat, and you're going to feed your top arm, your right hand through that hole that you just created by bending your knee. Hold on to the outside of your right ankle with your right hand, and you're going to lift the bottom leg, your left leg, 8 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower it to the mat with control. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now you're going to lift the left leg in 3 increments. So you'll inhale, lift it once, lift it a little bit higher twice, lift it to the highest point, 3. Exhale, lower the leg back down to the mat. Inhale, lift it once, lift it a little bit higher, lift it to its highest point. Slowly and with control, lower the left leg back down to the mat. We'll do 3 more this way. Inhale, lift a little bit more, lift to the highest. Exhale, lower the foot back down to the mat. 2 more. Inhale, lift a little bit higher, inhaling to the highest point. Exhale, lowering that bottom leg back down to the mat. Last one. Great job. Lift the left leg once. Inhale, lift it a little higher, lift it to its highest point, and then lower it back down into the mat. Now you're going to inhale, lift the left leg one more time to its highest point, and we'll pulse up 8 times. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you get to the highest point, we'll do a static hold for 8 seconds. Does it feel like your inner thigh is getting any benefits? I hope so. Mine feels tired. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can gently lower your left leg back down onto the mat. Lengthen your right leg long and bend both knees into your chest to give your legs a rest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Carefully come up to seated. We'll do a few push-ups and then we'll finish with mermaid. Great job today. So come to standing at the back edge of your mat. Your heels are together, your toes are apart, looking into the horizon. I see the sun rising. I hope you see something beautiful too. Tuck your chin to your chest, articulate down one vertebra at a time. When your hands hit the mat, you're going to pace out in 4 paces until you're in a high plank. Your wrists are under your shoulders. You're going to inhale, bend your elbows, bend your elbows, bend your elbows, keeping them into your ribcage. Exhale, press up. Inhale, bend, bend, bend. Exhale, press up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, press up. Now you'll pace back 4 paces. Bring your hands back to your feet and articulate up one vertebra at a time. When you get to where you're standing tall, looking into the horizon, you're going to inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lift your heels to releve. Exhale, lower. We'll do one more set of push-ups. You're going to tuck your chin to your chest, articulate down one vertebra at a time. Place your hands on the mat, and then pace out 1, 2, 3, 4, until you're in a high plank position. From here, you're going to inhale, inhale, inhale. Lower your chest down to the mat. Exhale, press up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, press up. One more push up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, press up. Face back. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. When your hands are back at your feet, you can articulate up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lift your heels to releve. Exhale, lower them. Come seated on your mat. You're going to face forward the long edge of your mat. I'm sitting on my right hip. My weight is on my right hip, and my knees are stacked one on top of the other. I'm holding onto both ankles with my left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And then side bend to the left, reaching your right fingertips for the wall that's to your left, or the space that's to your left. You want to keep your shoulders and your hips square to what would be a wall that's directly in front of you. Inhale, return to center. Now you can bring your right hand down to the mat, bring your right forearm down to the mat, and then counter stretch. So you're going to reach your left hand and left arm over to the space that's towards your right. Inhale, slowly come back to center. We'll do one more. So you're going to hold on to both ankles again with your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Side bend to the left. This time you can shift your right palm towards the sky or the ceiling if you choose, and then shift your gaze in that direction too for a deeper stretch. If you feel any pinching, back off and go to the original version that we worked on. Gently bring your palm back to neutral and your neck back to neutral. And return to center with your right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Bring your right palm to the mat, bring your right forearm to the mat, and counter stretch, reaching your left arm for the space that's to your right. Gently come back to center. Now you can switch the position of your legs, so you're resting on your left hip now, and we'll do the opposite side. We'll finish up with the opposite side. Inhale, reach your left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Side bend to the right, reaching your fingertips and arms for the space that's towards your right. Inhale to center. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat. Your left forearm comes down to the mat, following it. And counter stretch, reaching your right fingertips for the space that's towards your left. Inhale, return to center. We'll do one more. So your left leg arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling on the inhale. Side bend towards the right, making sure your shoulders and hips are square, facing directly in front of you. Inhale, return to center. Bring your left palm down to the mat, your left forearm, and side bend over to the left, reaching your right arm into space. Inhale, return to center, and you're finished. Great job today. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you again in the future.